Hey everyone, this is Keith Scott from out in Sydney, Australia. I'm one of the voices of Bullwinkle J. Moose. It's time to watch Relentless and Unstoppable. And so give it up for your main hosts, Douglas Kenny and Andy McPhee.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny and welcome to Relentless and Unstoppable. We have another amazing guest coming on the channel today, so please hit like and subscribe. And after this episode, please stay tuned to the RNU channel for more amazing guests. Let's get this on!
Hey everybody, how you doing? Just a quick little share of why I started Relentless and Unstoppable. It was for one very simple reason, because of Doug Kenny. Nothing to do with me at all, zero. I was just coaching Doug, and he took on the coaching and mentoring, and he made all the changes. He took all the suggestions from his parents as well as my coaching, but it was all about Doug, his breakthrough and his weight loss, his willingness to accept that he is dealing with high-functioning autism and other issues, but he's never quit, he's never given up. So we did one interview with him to share his story, and then we decided to start interviewing other people. And Doug has now taken over the whole channel, and he does all the interviews, he runs everything. He's just an amazing young man. So RNU was born from simply what an amazing young man Doug is, and his story needed to be shared.
Hey everybody, this is Doug Kenny from Relentless and Unstoppable, and today we have Paul Laidlaw with us. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good, Doug. How are you?
Doing fabulous. Where are you at the moment?
So I'm from Melbourne, Australia. And it's about 11 a.m. in the morning of a Saturday morning here. So I've got some free time to have a chat with you and anyone that wants to listen out there on your channels.
Yeah, for sure. So give our followers a bit of what you're known for.
So I had a pretty serious car accident back in 2007, and I actually ended up having my leg amputated with a list of other injuries. But I've since sort of recovered from all that, and probably the most recent achievement that I'm known for is actually climbing the Sydney Harbour Bridge, which I did at Easter just gone, which was a real achievement. Something I'd had as a goal in mind for quite a few years, and with having some surgeries and complications, and then COVID and stuff, it really got put on the back burner. It was about 5 years in the making to do the bridge climb. So it was really satisfying to finally be able to get to do it.
That's amazing. When did that take place?
So I did the bridge climb at Easter, just gone. And Easter's a bit of a significant time of year for me as well, because it was Easter 2009 when I decided to give up drinking alcohol as well. So I chose to do it at Easter as a bit of a celebration for that milestone as well. So
That's incredible. So you overcame alcoholism? Is that what you're saying?
no, so a lot of the reason my car accident I had was a drink driving accident. And because I ended up with some severe head injuries from this accident, doctors told me to give up, not totally give up, but not drink alcohol for 12 months, because for bad concussions and bad head injuries, like I had bleeding on the brain and had a drain tube in my head to relieve pressure on my brain, so it was pretty serious. If you drink alcohol too soon after head injuries, it can cause epilepsy. So I went a bit longer than 12 months. It was maybe 14 months, and it was a bit of a special occasion, like a bit of a family get together. I had a couple of drinks, and then a friend's wedding, and going on holidays with friends. And I sort of had a couple of days in a row of drinking. I didn't need to drink very much because I wasn't used to it, but it really affected me. And, I wasn't my usual self. I wasn't eating properly because I'd been drinking for a couple of days, or 3 days in a row it was. And my friend I was staying with is even saying to me, "Are you feeling okay? You're not your usual self, and you're not eating like you normally do." And it was because I'd been drinking. So I decided then that once I got home, I was holidaying in Brisbane. Once I got home back to Melbourne, that I'd just give up totally. It just wasn't worth it anymore. It was better for my health, better for my bank account. So I didn't spend so much money drinking alcohol. So you go out drinking and just spend money on other things, having a good time. But I still go out with friends, and they'll be drinking, and I still enjoy myself and socialise and have a good time and do things like that. Anyway, I'm just known amongst my friends as the permanent designated driver now, so which is fine by me. So I know my friends are safe if I drive them home, or they can't drive, they have to catch a taxi home. I might take them into the city and drop them off and spend a couple of hours there, and then I might head home early, and they have to get a taxi home. They don't have access to a car to drive. So yeah, that suits me fine, that I'm known as the permanent designated driver.
That's pretty interesting. So describe the accident that you were in 2007.
Yeah. So I'd had a night out with friends, and I'd actually split up with a girl that I was seeing, and so I wasn't in a very good state of mind, and I couldn't sleep because I had a lot of things going through my mind, and so I decided I was going to get in the car, even though I'd been drinking, get in the car and drive home. And that's when I ran off the road, and had the pretty serious accident that I did.
That's unfortunate. Describe how you felt in the hospital when you had all those injuries.
I was pretty confused at first because I woke up I didn't remember the accident. So I woke up not knowing where I was, and not sort of really knowing what had happened. So I guess I was in hospital initially for about 2 months. And I think 3 or 4 of those weeks were in ICU initially. So yeah, it was sort of, I spent a lot of time in hospital, just sort of piecing everything together and what happened, and things like that. So yeah, it was a bit of confusing time, and it took me a little while to sort of get my head around things to understand what had happened. So
What was the reason your leg was amputated?
so I was driving, and I hit a dirt embankment. So I went straight through a T intersection, and on the other side of the T intersection was like a dirt drain, a dirt embankment. So the front wheel actually come in through the floor of the car and smashed all my leg up. So the surgeons, they put me back together as best they could. So I had some steel plates and lots of screws and all that sort of thing. But the longer it went on, the more sense it made I was going to be better off without it, because I didn't have much functionality of my leg and my ankle or my toes. I couldn't wiggle my toes. I had to get 3 of my toes broken and straightened, and then they pinned my toes down the middle to straighten them up. My ankle, I had like 20 degrees movement in my ankle. My right leg was shorter than my left leg because of all the damage that I'd done and the bone that I'd lost. So yeah, it just, I guess because I had so many surgeries, I just got sick of going through surgeries and rehab, and it just, I got to talk to different physios and other amputees, and so I got to ask them any questions I had and got as much information as I could. But the longer it went on, the more sense it made that I was just going to be better off without it and be able to move on more with my life and live a better life. So I guess the biggest thing that came out into it was quality of life, and my quality of life was going to be better after I had it amputated.
Yeah, for sure. How'd you meet Andy?
Just through a mutual friend. I was visiting a mate of mine, and Andy just dropped in to visit this same guy that was a mate of his from years gone by. And I met him there, not having any idea who he was as a person or even that he was an actor. And then a couple of times I ran into him at the local gym, and we just got chatting away. And yeah, we just became friends from there. So a couple of times, I didn't get to know Andy until after my accident. So a couple of times with his workshops, with his coaching with his actors, he's asked me to go in and be a guest speaker to some of his groups and things like that. And, and told me about yourself and, if I'd like to come on and do an interview with yourself and be part of all this sort of stuff. So, yeah, we just sort of got to know each other kind of by accident, pretty much. So,
yeah, I would say that you laid low in the hospital.
Laid low. Well, that's a bit of a play on words on my name, but my name's actually Laidlaw, so it's L-A-W on the end, not L-O-W. So that's a pretty common mistake people make with spelling my surname. So yeah. So yeah, bit of a play on words, but it doesn't quite work as well as you'd hoped it would.